Hello, everyone. How's everybody out there doing? Welcome to another episode of How Much House for the Money. Hope you're all having a fabulous day. Cheers. So today we're going to venture into that territory of low price, high potential houses. And we are looking at three, and these are all under $50,000 today. And so this is one of them. This is on an acre of land and just a little single family ranch here for $49,900. This house here is on a quarter of an acre. This is a brick ranch for $45,900. And this house here is a concrete block structure on 3/4 of an acre for $35,000. So we're going to be checking out the details on these properties while we venture into the beautiful state of Georgia today. So for any of you that want to move to Georgia, you're going to be living with around 10.8 million people. And that real estate tax rate is coming at 0.99%, which is also the national average. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. You're welcome to subscribe and join this growing community, because this is where we venture through state to state, through town to town, to see how much house, cabin, and acreage we can get for our money. So today, these are the properties we're going to look at. Now, according to Redfin tells us that the median sale prices for houses in Georgia currently is around $377,000. Houses can typically be on the market for around 48 days. And let's see, the median sale price was $376,600. Oh, and the prices have gone up in Georgia 2.9%. However, the amount of houses that have sold has decreased 6.9% in the course of the last year. So these are all going to be fixers. These are the kind of houses that we have to roll up our sleeves and get our hands a little bit dirty. But we're also looking at the well, the septic, the utilities, the parcel, and the house. So we're going to begin right here in Summerville, Georgia, 30747. So Summerville, Georgia is right here on the map. We are in Chattanooga County, and the population was 4,534 in 2010. So here we are. Let's see, where is here we are. Here's Summerville. So we're right below Pennville, and we're above Barryton. So we're not very far from the Alabama line, right over here to the west. So we have Chelsea up here to the northwest, and Cloudland, and then to the to the south we have Silver Hill and Lyerly and Holland and Poetry. So we are not far at all from the Alabama line. So if any of you want to be in western Georgia, this might suit your needs. Now this one is situated at 195 Fabric Shack Road. It's only been on the market 4 days, and this is on an acre of land, so plenty of room for some backyard chickens or ducks. If you want to just let some dogs out, you're on an acre of land here, and this house was built in 1938. So let's see what we're getting for $49,900. Okay, so we have a shingle roof that may need to be replaced. Looks like it may be like a wood siding, or maybe, see if we can get a closer view here. Do have shutters on the front window, little covered entry. We're on an acre of land, and again, we are in Summerville, Georgia. Okay, so here we see we're going to need some issues. We're going to need a new roof with this one. We do have a screened-in back porch. It looks like we're on a concrete block or a brick foundation. We're looking at under $50,000. So this is one of these low-priced, high-potential houses. And that's what it's all about on this channel. We're here to see that we can view and we can buy houses way below that median sale price of $377,000 in Georgia currently. However, if you want move-in ready, they're out there too. Lots of them. Georgia literally has 49,414 active listings. However, 12,384 of those are pending. So that leaves us with 37,030 houses that are currently on the market for sale, and they range from, $120,000 all the way up to the millions. And this is $49,900. Now this house is going to need some attention. And in a minute, we're going to see how much. And of course, when you're there in person, these houses may be better than what they appear in the photographs, or it could work the opposite way. But we always want to have that home inspection. And whether you're financing or you're paying cash, whether you're a seasoned buyer or a first-time buyer, you have that home inspection. Never be afraid to make the offer. You want to also figure out what it's worth to the market, meaning you can have an appraisal on the property to see what a mortgage officer would lend for the property. If it's mortgageable, you want to check out these types of episodes to see how much houses are in different areas, different states, different towns. You can always go on Realtor.com and see what houses are selling for in specific towns and zip codes. You want to learn how long the house has been on the market, how long it's been vacant. You want to ask about the utility bills. And if your buyer's agent doesn't know those answers, they are to ask the listing agent who is representing the seller. Okay, so here we're moving right on into the living room. Looks like we're getting hardwood floors. We have a lot of paneling, and as we've seen on this channel, we can always paint paneling. We can lighten it up, modernize it. Okay, so look at this. So this is what we're looking at for under $50,000. So we have a nice open plan right here. So we have an open living and kitchen area. We do have a fireplace. Now, home inspections will let us know if that is operating. And if it is not, maybe we could get it to where it's operable. So we have a beautiful brick fireplace, hardwood floor. We do have vinyl in the kitchen. We have enamel cabinets. Now we could feed right off of this little knee wall here, add an island for some counter high chairs, maybe bring it forward and around a little bit and add more countertop. And again, we're in Summerville, Georgia. So here we have more than likely the primary bedroom. Looks like we have wood windows. It looks like we have an ensuite bathroom. If that is a bedroom, can't quite tell. So here is the bathroom. Now we have to look past the filth because we're going to have to expect that with some of these lower priced houses. Not all of them. There are homes in Arkansas that are on 2 acres of land that you could move right into, and they were clean. So definitely check out all the other episodes. We venture through all the states, and there are some amazing properties out there on a little bit of acreage for under $50,000. Okay, so here we have vinyl flooring. We have the commode. Looks like we have a pedestal sink. We do see a tub there. Here's our electrical panel. Looks like it's a wood-sided house. And I think that's all they're going to show us. And never be afraid to make the offer on the condition of the property. These houses are placed on the market to be sold. However, this one's only been on the market for 4 days, but nonetheless, you can keep your eye on this, or you can make an offer based on what you feel it's worth to you. It's on an acre of land. And the house itself has 896 square feet, built in 1938. Cute 2-bedroom, 1-bath home within 5 minutes of Summerville. Fireplace in the den, recently surveyed for 1+ acre, needs extensive renovation, it says. And when we look at it, was longevity with homeownership. It was just listed, and this house is 86 years old. So that listing agent may have a good relationship with the seller, and maybe he or she can tell you all about the property. So well, and the septic alone, along with electricity, is worth a majority of that $49,900 price. So let's look at the street view here. Look at this location. Wow, nice. Looks like we're out in a little bit of a country area, but being right outside of town nonetheless. I mean, this looks really pretty, and this is a street, and I did look it up. The distance from this house to your local grocery store is only 10 minutes. So let's see the satellite view here, and let's see what we're getting. Because having an address like Fabric Shack Road, I thought, oh goodness, how far out are we from the grocery store? And it was 10 minutes away. So here we are. This is very rural, so you're out in the country. But it did say the grocery store was 10 minutes, and I think it wasn't no, it wasn't an Aldi. There was an Aldi in the distance, but it wasn't Aldi. It was another name of a grocery store. But here, let's see, do I still have that tab? Yes, it was United Grocery Outlet. That was the name of it. And it's 10 minutes away from this property. And so we have Barryton up there in West Summerville, and this is probably more than likely where you're going to find the town. Yeah, so here we are really close to the Alabama line, and this one is $49,900. So if this is within your budget and you're okay with a fixer, I mean, this house might not be, might not be bad when you get there in person and take a look at it. It's going to need a roof, but base your offer on that. Once you get the new roof on, you could build yourself some sweet equity right there for under $50,000. Okay, now we're moving into Augusta, Georgia. Now, mind you, these houses also, you're going to want to do diligence with the locations and the vicinities because these were affected by Hurricane Helene recently. However, they're still standing there. They're on the market to be sold, but they did, some of the areas of these towns did suffer horrific wind damage and tree damage on property, on automobiles and things, and you can do some research on that. But I just wanted to put that out there that we have to do diligence when we're looking in these areas and these price points. So you definitely want to do your research. But this one here is in Augusta, Georgia, 30904. So we look at Augusta, which I don't think I have Augusta open. So hold on a minute here. Now let me go, because I thought I had. Let me go into Augusta. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so Augusta is right here on the map. Pardon me. And let's see. So we're above Jackson. We're above Waynesboro. And we are to the east of Grovetown. So we are below Edgefield. So we're very near the South Carolina, close to the South Carolina line. And this is Augusta, Georgia. Here's Atlanta over here to the west. Here's Athens. And here's Savannah down here. So we're not too terribly far from the coast. A couple of hours more than likely. But we are to the north of Waynesboro. And we're below Evans. And we're to the east of Thompson. And Sandersville is down here to the southwest. And here's Vidalia. So here is Augusta. And then over here is Columbia, South Carolina is up here to the northeast. And we are in Augusta. And this is at 1541 Wooten Road. And this is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath brick house on a little more than a quarter of an acre. It's $45,900. It's only been on the market 8 days. This place was built in 1955. So what are we getting? This is really cute. Wait till you see this from a distance. So here we have our covered side entry. We have a covered porch over here as well. We see we have a shingle roof that may need replaced. But this is a brick house. Super cute. Looks like a little bungalow. Nice wrought iron detail there. Looks like we have a lot of trees on the property. No landscaping really around the whole exterior front. Now we could always paint this another color and really brighten it up a little bit. We could add those window boxes there for our pop of color. We could always add perennials for the Georgia landscape. And we're looking at $45,900 with a well, the septic, the utilities, and the parcel. And if this is right outside of town, it could be municipal, where you have village water, village electric, village septic. And that's one less thing you really got to worry about as a buyer. So now we're moving right on into the inside. So let's consider this. Let's visualize this, I should say, without this burgundy carpet. We could always roll it up and remove it. It's a light, bright interior. Now it's going to need painted. We do see a little issue there on that ceiling. So we're definitely going to have a home inspection to find out what's going on with the roof. But hypothetically speaking, even with the house before this one, if we paid $40,000, maybe we could get it for less. Maybe we could get it for $35,000 or $36,000, and you have to put a new roof on these little places that are 1,000 square feet or less. So let's see, say on the high end, say we're even into $15,000 for a roof, which seems high, but you never know, depending on who you hire. Due diligence with that as well. But even if you put $15,000 and you pay $40,000, pay $36,000, you're still below $60,000 for a nice house, if these are the areas that you want to be in. This is really cute. But we do have aluminum windows. So that would be another upgrade if you choose to do so. Or you can leave it alone, put a new roof on it, and call it a day. We're still under $46,000 or $45,000 for this one. And again, we are in Augusta, Georgia. There we do have an outlet on the lower end of that wall there. Do have a ceiling fan in the living room. So here's an area of the house, could be maybe laundry. Does have vinyl flooring. If you are dabbling in real estate, if you're just beginning to maybe consider dipping your toe into the water, these episodes are great for you to learn how very little we can pay for a house, what kind of condition they might be in. If you're an investor and you're looking for, properties to add to your portfolio, here you go. If this is the area that you want to be in, or you just graduated high school, you're graduating college, you don't want to rent, you're okay with rolling up your sleeves, getting your hands a little dirty, and you want to build a little sweat equity for yourself, this might be of interest. This looks like it has some character to it. Now this wall here, you could possibly remove that if you wanted to open up the space, or you could feed right off of that, add a countertop to it. You have to visualize this with your own creativity and your own touches on it. Clean it up, fix it up, give it some love. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's a living area there. We could possibly open this whole wall up because that looks like that's the kitchen. So envision this with it, like if we can get in there and envision this with what it would look like if we open it up and gave it more of an open floor plan, put a nice island in there with some counter high chairs, just made it more conducive to everyday living. It's a cute kitchen, what we see of it. Do have two windows above the double sink. We could just take that out and start fresh. It's under $45,000 with a well, the septic, utilities, the house, and the parcel. Okay, so that may be a door to get us outside. Look at our cute covered front porch. And again, this is a brick house, and it looks like we have a chain link fence to surround the property, which is great. That's great when you have children or if you have pets. That's one less thing you have to buy. Gives you some more privacy. It's always great to have our covered front porch, you guys. Cheers to that. Cheers to you guys. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're staying healthy. I'm really hoping this cold is on its way out. Okay, so going to move around to the other side here. If this were even just painted, has a new roof on it, and we envision it with a beautiful new coat of paint and the window boxes, it would be so pretty. This is a nice brick ranch. As long as the home inspection comes out good, you're okay with these areas, and we're in Augusta, Georgia. There's a walk-in closet. Nice. You have the home inspection. Base your offer on the home inspection results, how long it's been vacant, utility bills, your HVAC, your foundation. So here's the bathroom. We've definitely seen worse. It's going to need some cleanup there. That's going to have to be repaired. Maybe take out the tub, take this whole thing out, maybe just replace it with a nice tile shower, maybe a surround, make it easy on yourself. Okay, so here's another area. This might be a bedroom. It's under $45,000 for this one in Augusta, Georgia. Blue brick house. And it's going to need a roof more than likely, even though the ceiling doesn't really look too terrible. That what we see here, but of course when you're there in person, you can really get down to the nitty gritty. There's another bedroom. Yeah, there's a whole lot we could do with this. This is loaded with potential. Okay, and the worst of it, I think, is this area right here. But again, when you're there in person, you find out what's going on with it. But this is under $45,000. It's a really nice parcel. It looks very private. I'd like to know if there's... Look at that little courtyard in the back. Isn't that nice? Wow. Yeah, this is loaded with potential. I'd definitely be wanting to take a look at this. If any of you take a look at this, let us know in the comments. There's that porch. A lot of room for perennials. And if this is your price point, if this is the money that you want to spend on a house, hopefully this is of interest to you. Yeah, look at that chain link fence. Every little bit helps. Looks like it may have an HVAC. And there's another view. Isn't that cute? That's really cute. Okay, so this is 1541 Wooten Road, and this is in Augusta, Georgia, 30904. It's been on the market for 8 days. And it says, ranch home that has been a rental now needs a new investor or someone looking to have some vision. And home was built using bricks, so no sheetrock is inside the house. Home has 3 bedrooms and 1 full bathroom, covered porch, and a side porch, and a back and side yard is wooded. No damage to the home by the hurricane. It just needs updated and repaired. So there you go. So you could take your chances on this and maybe just, live in Augusta, Georgia for many years to come. And hopefully you'll have no problems, but there's no guarantees of that, right? But we know with this, it's been there since 55 and currently no damage. Driveway will accommodate 3 vehicles and the front yard has the chain link fence that we saw. Very nice. Okay, so this one was sold in 1997 for $30,000. It was sold in 2004 for $17,500. Now they're asking $45,900, and the house is 69 years old. That is so cute. There it is. Look at this nice little neighborhood. But again, we want to do diligence with our areas and neighborhoods we're not familiar with, but it looks like a quiet little side street. Everybody's got a chain link fence around their yards. That is super cute. I love that tree in the front. Nice and shady. And that's 1541 Wooten Road, Augusta, Georgia 30904. Let's look at our satellite view here. There we are. It's probably very walkable. You can get on your bike and ride to town. Get that. We are in Augusta, Georgia. Sweet. And that is $45,900. Now we are moving into Macon, Georgia. Check this out. This one's $35,000. Now this one's been on the market. Here is Macon, and this is in Ocmulgee National. Macon is in city in central Georgia, and you are near the Ocmulgee National Monument and Earth Mounds, it says here. So Macon, Georgia has a lot of history. Okay, so here we are. Let's see, we'll scroll out. So Columbus is over here to the southwest. We have Atlanta up here to the northwest. And we are right above Jeffersonville. We're to the west of Gordon. We're to the south of Bolingbroke and Juliet and Forsyth. And we're above Byron and Fort Valley. And we are in Macon, Georgia right here. This one's $35,000. So we're reducing the price. This is on just shy of 3/4 of an acre. This house has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom and just shy of 900 square feet. And it was built in 1971. So let's see what we're getting for $35,000. Scroll back up here. Okay, so here we are. Look at this. So here we have a raised concrete block house with a screen porch on the front. So what we could do with this, got the nice wrought iron detail there. We could paint the brown, lighten it up, and we could paint the concrete block. Does have brick trim. If you're looking in Macon, Georgia, if $35,000 is your budget or somewhere around there, never be afraid to make the offer. So look at this. We're getting hardwood floors that looks like they've been painted over time. We have paneling that's been painted white. We have wood trim. We're looking at $35,000, almost 3/4 of an acre with a well, the septic, the parcel, the house, and the electric. Look at this. We could paint the interior, lighten it up, modernize it, spruce it up. Maybe you could get this house for $30,000. You never know until you try. Okay, so here this is what we're getting of the kitchen. Looks like there might be a vinyl floor. So all we have is that cabinet and counter there. We do have a water heater, a couple of windows. We could just create a blank slate and start fresh. And again, we're in Macon, Georgia. We could maybe open this wall right up and like the other house, just open it up and make it one large open floor plan. Well, maybe not too large. This house isn't huge to begin with, but you know what I'm saying. We'll just open it up, modernize it. Here's what we may see. That might be a bedroom. Looks like that's vinyl flooring. We have to look past the dark interiors. We just have to have some vision goggles on for these houses today. But believe me, I've seen way worse than these. And you never know. When you get there in person, you might be like, wow, this isn't bad at all. As long as you have a good foundation, and yes, you've got to have a good roof, you've got to have some good windows, but it's a starting point, right? They can't be perfect, really, at this kind of, we can't expect them to be perfect at $35,000. That's a given. And we just have to be aware of that. But it just lets us know, regardless of what kind of house we can get, for $35,000 in Georgia. And if you want to check out the previous episode, we were in North Carolina, but those houses were definitely priced higher. But there was one for $135,000, one for $149,000, one for $189,000, and there is a gorgeous 4-square brick house that would be the best bed and breakfast, and that one was in North Carolina. So definitely check out that episode. But yeah, so here we have the bathroom. We have a tub and shower. We have a vanity, sink, faucet, a medicine cabinet. Looks like we have a window. I mean, it's all there. Here is our porch area. There's a little outbuilding. Looks like we have a lot of privacy. There's the back of it. So as we see here, here's the back and then here's the front. So it's kind of a raised brick ranch because the front of it has that screen porch. Now this house may need a roof also, or it could be a newer roof. We don't know until we really have that home inspection, but it's not a huge house. Again, if you had to invest in some windows and a new roof, you have a concrete block structure, may not be the worst case scenario, right? Paint that up. That'd be really cute. Add those flower boxes. If Macon, Georgia is your jam and you have $35,000 or somewhere near that, and you're into a concrete block house with a screen porch on almost 3/4 of an acre, here you go. It looks like it's tucked back off the road. It looks really private. $35,000. You never know. You could try it for $25,000. You never know until you try, and you never know until that offer is placed in front of that seller. And hopefully you have a good buyer's agent and a listing agent. When they put these houses on the market, the listing agent's job, they are asked to sell the property to the best of their ability. Yes, they want to get the highest and best price out there, but this one's been on the market a little while. So there it is. This is really cute. I love how it sits back so far. And again, we're in Macon, Georgia. This is 4370 Jeffersonville Road. Been on the market for 93 days. And according to Redfin, houses are typically on the market in Georgia for 48 days. So this one's it's almost double that. $35,000 on just shy of 3/4 of an acre. And it says here, cinder block home with great bones and a great location. And that's all they say. So maybe that's part of the reason it hasn't sold. So, and for the history, this one was listed in August for $59,000. They've reduced it several times. Now they're down to $35,000. It's 53 years old. So let's look at the street view for this one. Look at that. So we've got a beautiful big church next door. That's lovely. Look at how far back you sit off the road. How pretty is that? Wow. Got nice houses in the neighborhood. There's another one across the road that sits way back. May not be too terribly far from town. That's really cute for $35,000. And again, that's Macon, Georgia. So let's look at our satellite view. Look at this. So we may not be too far outside of town. There it is. And this is Macon, Georgia. This one again is $35,000, just shy of 3/4 of an acre, and that's the concrete block home. Or if you want to move into Augusta, this is the brick house for $45,900 on 1/4 of an acre. Or if we want to be in Summerville on an acre of land, this little one's $49,900. And so yeah, we have some fixers in Georgia today, you guys. You never know what you're gonna get, right? That's the beauty of checking out the market in all these different areas and towns and different states, just to see how much house we get for our money. Wherever you guys are today, hope you're having a fabulous day. It's always good to be with you. You're welcome to subscribe to the channel, and you're welcome to hit that notification bell, because you never know, the house you're not looking for, maybe in the next episode. And please, let's not forget about our people in Tennessee, South and North Carolina, in the mountains, and Florida, and of course, in our areas here of Georgia. They need our supplies. We need to continue to drop things off for people. They're going to need things for many months to come, especially in the mountains when the weather is getting cooler and cooler in the evenings. And North Carolina is going to experience some rain in the next few days, according to the Weather Channel as well. So please, let's not forget about our people and continue to drop off the supplies, especially supplies that are much needed in the colder weather. So until the next State of Interest, you guys, Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay aware, and definitely stay tuned. Cheers, everybody.